Hey guys, so welcome. This is going to be a little bit of a different kind of video. For those that follow us or have been following us for a little while, you may know that Giselle and I are going to Disney World very soon. We're actually going to be going a week from the day that this video is uploaded. And we'll talk about that more in a second. But I did want to mention real quick that this video is actually kind of jumping in time a little bit. We actually also went on a cruise, a Carnival cruise with my family this past week of me filming this, that is. And I wanted to get this one out before we went to Disney World. But also there's like 9 vlogs that we took from the cruise, and I wanted to not have to upload all those before we go to Disney World and then upload this one before we go to Disney World, and then the channel be dead for a few weeks until we get back from Disney World and I edit all the vlogs that we shot there. So basically, I'm filming this now after the cruise and releasing it before the cruise vlogs come out. I've actually already finished several of the cruise vlogs. All of the cruise vlogs will be finished and scheduled by the time we go to Disney World, and they will start releasing just a little bit before we leave for Orlando. And so you'll be seeing those while we're at Disney World. The cruise vlogs, you'll be seeing them while we're there. You'll be seeing them a little bit after, so I have some time when we get back to start editing the Disney World vlogs. So so the channel won't be dead while you wait for us to finish those. So that's just, you know, if you're curious about the timeline here, like I said, the cruise vlogs will start to upload probably a few days after this one, and they will upload every 3 or 4 days or so until they're finished and until we're caught up with going to Disney World. And hopefully by that time there'll be some Disney World videos edited for you to see as well. That'll also start to come out every few days. So what is this video then? This video is basically going to be our Disney World planning. And so I watch a lot of Disney YouTubers, all different kinds of Disney YouTubers. I watch people that go to the parks all the time, people that live near the parks, both Disney World and Disneyland. A lot more recently I've been watching a lot of Disney World stuff because that's where we're going. I watch a lot of people that just do general Disney related things. I watch a lot of Disney related videos online, and something that pops up that some people do before they go to Disney World is a video like this where they sit down and talk about the planning that they've done for their trip, their upcoming trip. You know, they kind of talk about the general process of how they planned out when they're going and what they're doing, and what they hope to do when they get there and all that kind of stuff. Going through the planning that they've done for each day that they plan on being there, and there's people do it all different ways, and this is a little bit of a different way to do it as well. This is something that I've never done before, and I thought it would be kind of fun to do this before we go, so you can get a little glimpse into what's gone into planning this trip out. I've been planning this trip for a few years now in my head, and I'm just so excited that it's finally happening. I'm a very planny person. Giselle's not much of a planning person. That's why I'm kind of sitting here and talking to you about this. I did pretty much most of the planning. It's also because I've been to Disney World a lot more than she has. Although she knows Disneyland very well, I know Disney World very well. So I've been doing a lot of the planning for this thing, and except for like when it comes to details and stuff, the last few months especially, we've been sitting down and doing a lot of planning together, and I'll talk about that a little bit as well. But I just have constant ongoing to-do lists, monthly to-do lists, daily to-do lists. I'm constantly trying to keep track of what I want to get done and when I want to get it done, and that's the same for Disney World. I've been planning this in detail for a long time. I've had this ongoing email draft in my email, just constantly filling it with moving things around, rearranging things, trying to figure out how things will work best for us, and it's been a work in progress. It sounds a little bit crazy because, you know, it's just Disney World. Some people would feel that way, I guess, but to me it's like, it's a trip that I very much care about, and I want us to optimize it the best way that we can, and, you know, I want it to be something really special and go really well, and I want to make sure we have everything that we need to know planned out ahead of time going into it. I mean, we've planned out most details of things. We've planned out like all the food that we're gonna do, but not specifically every single time. Like sometimes we'll have planned out like for this meal we're going to go to a quick service, but a lot of we have a few sit-down table service restaurant things that we have specifically planned out for specific days. But it's a lot of the quick service stuff, a lot of the more quicker lunches and dinners. We just generally said, oh, we're going to get a quick service. So in Magic Kingdom, we don't know necessarily where we're going to go for lunch or dinner this one day, but we know we are going to go do quick service. So other than that, we've planned out pretty much everything. We've planned out a lot of clothes we're going to be wearing. Giselle's going to be doing a lot of Disney bounds, and I'm actually going to do a couple of Disney bounds with her. Not every day. She's going to be doing Disney bounds most days, and I'm going to be kind of doing it along with her sometimes. Of course I like wearing the Mickey ears around the parks usually, and we've got a few special Mickey ears to wear that we got from Etsy, and we've been doing a lot of planning around that and what days we want to wear specific things. And Giselle's got a plan out for every single day that we're going to be there, which is new for her, because for the cruise she didn't really have an idea of what she was going to wear each day. She brought just a ton of clothes and just picked it out when we got there. This time around for Disney, she already knows everything that she's going to be wearing, and I have a pretty good idea of what I'm going to be wearing throughout the week as well, because we want to be very Disney when we get there. If you've seen some recent vlogs, Giselle has bought some fabrics to make some skirts specifically for Disney bounding, and just Disney skirts to wear in Disney World as well. And she hasn't quite finished those yet. She's going to be working on those so that she has them to wear when the time comes. I already have a full packing list. We're going to be flying there, so I already know what's going to go in our checked bags, what's going to go in our carry-on bags, because we're going to be doing Disney's Magical Express, so the Magical Express is going to pick us up from the airport and take us to the hotel, and they're going to grab our luggage for us and take it for us, and so I know what I need to pack in a backpack and in a carry-on instead of putting in our checked luggage, because we might not see it for a couple hours once we get there. We've planned out all that stuff. Now this video won't be every single detail that we've come to, because I still want there to be some sort of element of surprise, I guess, in the vlogs that we do, because we're going to be doing a vlog for every single day that we are in the parks, and I want them to be very thorough and detailed. I want them to be a way for me to look back on the experience and re-experience it for myself, because I love doing that. I love re-watching stuff like that. I've watched the Disneyland vlogs that we've done. We went to Disneyland twice together, and especially the last time we went last year in May. I watch those vlogs all the time, and I'll link those vlogs down below if you haven't seen them, because they're really good in my opinion, and I love watching them because I love re-experiencing those days, and that's what I want these Disney World vlogs to be, us being able to re-experience the days that we had in Disney World on this trip. I want to really capture what it feels like to be in Walt Disney World. And so I used to go to Disney World all the time with my family. I love Disney World. It's one of my favorite places in the world. We used to go every few years with my family. We started going when I was 4. I don't really remember that trip very much, but then we went when I was 5. And then after that, we went every couple of years. And I think we figured it out when we were just with my parents to go on the cruise. We talked about it a little bit. I think I had been a dozen times. This might be my 12th time going, something like that. And so that's not as much as some people have done it, but it's enough to have made me fall in love with Disney World and really want to just keep going back forever. The last time Giselle and I went, that was Giselle's first time there. And she used to go to Disneyland all the time with her family because she lived in California, but she had never been to Disney World. In 2015, that's the last time we went, 4 years ago. And I got to show her around and show my love and appreciation for the place to her, and we didn't get to see everything though. That's the difficult thing about it. We went with my family, we spent some time with them, we spent some time alone, but we still didn't get to see everything. And so this time around we've planned a lot of our stuff around getting to see a lot of new things, getting to experience a lot of new things that neither of us had done before. We're going to try to eat lots of new food that neither of us have eaten before at either Disney resort. And I've been planning this trip in my head, and we've been planning this together since that last trip in 2015 with my family. We've been planning on going back together sometime in the next few years after that, and we actually meant to go last year, but we ended up going to Disneyland instead. And I'm glad, because this year, this trip has honestly turned into my dream Disney World trip. I'm so excited for this trip because everything has fallen into place so perfectly for it. It's the most perfect trip that I could have asked for, honestly. So I actually booked this trip the first day that it became available back in June of 2018. I'd been paying attention. I watch a lot of Disney podcasts and, like I said, a lot of Disney videos online, and I knew when the date was coming for when 2019 vacations were able to be booked, and it was like June 20 something, I think, and I booked it the day it became available, and I didn't choose an exact date. That's the only thing about the planning I didn't choose exactly, was when we would go. I knew I wanted to go in either September or October, and I wasn't sure which one would be best, and so I kind of went through all of the weeks of each one and saw what was available. I knew I wanted to go for more than just a week. I wanted to go for a few more days extra than just a week. And so when I put that in to the site to try and book the trip, I realized that what I wanted wasn't really available except for this 1 week. So that's the week we chose. Now, my family always stayed in All-Star Music. We always stayed on property, on the Disney World property in one of the Disney hotels, and we always stayed in All-Star Music. There was this one year we stayed in Pop Century. The first couple times we went, my dad actually won trips from his work, so we were able to stay in some of the deluxe hotels, like the Yacht and Beach Club, and we stayed at Wilderness Lodge, which I loved and would love to go back to at some point. But the deluxe hotels are a little bit out of our price range, and I knew I wanted to try something different than one of the value resorts, since I'd already been to All-Star and to Pop Century. So we chose a moderate. I watched through a ton of tours on YouTube of all the different resorts, tons of reviews of all of them, and I fell in love with Port Orleans Riverside. So that's where we're staying. We're staying at Port Orleans Riverside. I love the aesthetic of that place. I've watched, if you've made a video on Port Orleans Riverside on YouTube, and especially within the last year, then it is almost certain that I've watched it. I have watched almost every video, or at least a little bit of it. I've watched at least a little bit or all of every Port Orleans Riverside video that there is on YouTube. I constantly search for them because I love seeing it. I just love looking at it, and I love the fact that we're going to be there soon, and I love watching videos about it, so that's where we're staying. I actually watched a bunch of videos on a bunch of the different resorts, and like all the moderates and even the values again, and I looked at some of the deluxes just in case, but I would love to stay at more of the Disney resorts at some point in the future, but Riverside is where my heart fell onto, and I'm really excited for it. And luckily Giselle wasn't too worried about where we were staying. I think she'll like it a lot too, especially because Disneyland has the New Orleans vibe to it, New Orleans Square, and I think that'll be this resort will be very reminiscent of that, and I think we'll both really like it a lot. And there's a lot of cool stuff there to do, and there's a lot of cool stuff available to us, and I think we're gonna have a lot of fun there. I'm very excited to show her around there because I've never been there before in my life, but I've watched tons of videos on it now, so I know my way around pretty well there, I think, now. So like I said, I knew we wanted to stay there for more than just a week. I wanted to have at least 2 days in every park, and maybe even a little bit more if we could swing it. And so that's what we did. We ended up choosing 10 days, except for the 10th day is the day that we're leaving. So it's really 9 days and 9 nights that we're going to be able to go to the parks. And like I said, I knew we wanted the fall, September, October. Wasn't really leaning towards November, so I was pretty sure I wanted October actually, but none of the dates really worked out at Port Orleans for that. So we ended up doing pretty early September actually, which I'm fine with because, you know, it's about to happen. Now that it's here, I'm glad that I chose the date I did. Now the reason I knew we wanted that time of year was because I wanted to go to the Halloween party, Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party, because I've never been to that before, and I've watched lots of stuff on that, and I really want to go. And also because I wanted to go to Food and Wine Festival at Epcot, which is happening at the same time. And that is also something I've never been to before. And since both of those things are happening throughout September and October, yeah, I was very sure I wanted to do those. We also were kind of hoping, we're really hoping to go before Galaxy's Edge opened. They originally said Galaxy's Edge would open in late fall of 2019. And everyone that I saw online was saying that late fall meant December, like early December. Disney would swing it as close to the end of fall as they could, saying late fall. But that was wrong. That didn't happen. They came out a couple months ago and announced that both the Disneyland and Disney World Galaxy's Edge would be opening early. So Galaxy's Edge is opening on August 29th in Disney World, which is like a week before we're going. And at first I wasn't too happy. The reason we wanted to go before it opened is because everyone was saying that it was going to be so packed and so crowded, and it was going to draw so many crowds, and that you don't want to be there when Galaxy's Edge opens, because the whole park, the whole resort is going to be so crowded. And so we were hoping to beat the crowds for that, and I was really hoping that we did, and unfortunately we did not. But you know, I was disappointed at first because I wanted to be there with like no crowds whatsoever, and that's what everyone was predicting September would be. But Disney saw that and decided to announce that it would open early, probably to bring in people around that time because it was kind of slow. I think the bookings were kind of slow at that time of year, so they announced it early, and my excitement is back up because, you know, Giselle and I are going to be two of the first people in Galaxy's Edge, like within the first couple weeks that it opens, and we're going to get to see Galaxy's Edge when we go. And I'm really excited for that, actually, now that I've been thinking about it for a while. I've seen tons of videos about Disneyland's Galaxy's Edge now. People are starting to release cast member previews and media previews of the Galaxy's Edge in Disney World, so I'm all on board now. I'm totally fine with it again. People are saying maybe it won't be too crowded, maybe it won't be too crazy. I don't know. No one knows. No one has any idea what's going to happen when it opens for real, but it is what it is, and I'm still super excited to be going when we're going. So it's not that big of a deal. Like I said, it does mean we get to see Galaxy's Edge a little bit early in its existence, which is really cool, which I'm pretty excited for. We also, earlier this year, they announced the time that we're going, they're going to have a promotion that they do sometimes called free dining. There's a lot of people online that say, like, especially on the podcast that I watch, that say, like, free dining usually isn't worth it. It's not worth it for everyone, and I understand that. And usually they release another offer at the exact same time that is more beneficial, that you should go with instead of free dining, because it'll save you more money. And they did that. They released an offer called the Sun and Fun offer, which was like a room discount thing. So you can get a little bit of a room discount on your hotel stay, which it did save us money. I did like, once you have booked something, I booked it last June, like I said, and this got released in like January or February, these two offers, and you can update your thing on the Disney website, your trip, with these new offers onto them, and I tried both of them. It did save us a couple $100 for the Sun and Fun offer, but for me, for the two of us, for Giselle and I had already calculated what all of our food costs were going to be. I wanted to know, this is my planning again, I wanted to know how much we were going to spend on food while we were in Disney World for the 9 days that we were going to be there. I went through each and every day, and I talked to Giselle about this, and we figured out some places we would want to go sit down at, some like table service restaurants that we would want to go to, and like I looked on their menus and saw how much the food cost there. I looked at all the quick service menus for all of the different parks. I opened all of them, picked some ones that I thought we'd probably go to throughout the week, and put them in breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I figured out our breakfast, lunch, and dinner for every day that we would be there, priced it out for both of us, thinking about like what we would spend, how much we would get, and you know, trying to figure out how much we would spend for the whole entire week on food. And it came out to quite a bit. I wanted to have like a budget going in for food and buying other stuff like souvenirs and stuff to bring back, and seeing the food budget was kind of like, okay, we're not going to be able to buy much of anything else besides food, which was fine because we really wanted to have a lot of good food while we were there. So then free dining comes along, and so what free dining is you get, for Moderate Resort, which is what we're staying at, you get 2 quick service credits per person per day and 2 snack credits per person per day. And you also get like one of the refillable drink mugs that you can refill at the resorts and stuff. And I plugged in all those credits to where I had quick services throughout our trip. I replaced a few things, like a few table service with quick service. I rearranged everything to make it all fit. And it ended up saving us, after doing the calculations for without free dining and with free dining, it cut our food costs in half. which was hundreds of dollars. Hundreds, like way more than the Sun and Fun offer, and it was so worth it for us to get free dining. And that made the trip it made me bump up my excitement even more for the trip, because we are getting almost like $700 worth of free food from this free dining plan, which I'm pretty happy about. So then earlier this year also, we were able to choose our magic bands. If you don't know what a magic band is, I'll show you here. It came in this little box right here. This is mine, and this is Giselle's. And these are what get you into your room. It's what you get into rides with that you have fast passes for. It's what you use to pay things with. You don't have to bring credit cards or anything like that around with you. You just hold your magic band to a thing, and that's how you pay for your stuff. And at souvenir shops as well, that's just how you pay for your stuff at Disney World. And that's how you do everything at Disney World. And I love it, it's awesome. So this is the one actually that came with this box that they sent for Giselle. This is the one that has her name on it. My name is on this one, but so let me open this. Let me tell you what happened. So a few months ago, they announced that you could upgrade from just getting free solid colored magic bands to getting ones with things on them. You can buy the ones with stuff on them in the parks for, you know, like 25 bucks or whatever, but for like only $10 more of an upgrade, you can get one of these instead of one of these. So we took that. I ended up getting this really awesome Mickey one that I really like a lot, and it has my name on the back of it. Unfortunately though, the one we chose for Giselle, which is the Pirates of the Caribbean one, they didn't send that because they ran out without telling us. They sent us the red one instead. They sent us this red one instead of this Pirates of the Caribbean one. And so unfortunately the red one has her name on it and not the Pirates of the Caribbean one, the one that she actually wanted. But it's fine, I guess. They did send us a credit for $15 because that was the extra amount that it cost to buy this just on the Disney store. So they refunded us the $10 and gave us a $15 credit, so we were able to buy this for basically 10 bucks on the Disney store. So she was still able to get it. So it was all fine in the end, but it's kind of annoying that they did that. But whatever, we have our magic bands and it's awesome. And I'm very excited to be wearing this all week. I might get myself another magic band once we get there, just so I can switch back and forth between the two. Both of these are activated for Giselle, so she'll be able to wear whichever one she wants, and she can still get more as well when we're there. But yeah, there's some other stuff in this box about the magic bands, just information on how to activate it. They also put like a little luggage tag in here. It's this right here. Actually, I really like this a lot. And we also already had this one as well from 2015 that we never used. And I was going to put these on our luggage to go to the trip, but my parents actually gave us, apparently my parents have saved the luggage tags that Disney World has sent us all for years. And they had a ton of them. And so when we went to the cruise, we put some of those Disney World ones on the luggage we'll probably be using for going down to Disney World this time. So I'll probably just save these. You know, we'll move at some point, and so I'll save these for when we have a new address, and we want to put our new address on them for future trips or whatever. So yeah, they also put this little magical extras card in here. I don't know what this is. I will have to look at what this is, because this is one thing. I haven't really looked at this box at all. I've kind of kept it like this so I could show you guys it without destroying it. I did replace Giselle's magic band inside of it. I switched them out, but that's the only thing I did. So I did not see this, and I have no idea what it is, but I will look that up. I don't know what it is. Oh, and apparently the luggage straps for the luggage tag are in this thing, which the magic bands were wrapped around. Anyway, another thing that they sent us, since like I said, we're doing Disney's Magical Express, they will pick us up from the airport and take us to our hotel, and they will also pick up our luggage for us. So once we give our luggage to the airport here in Boston, we will not have to see it again until it's in our room in Florida in Disney World. A couple hours later, they say give them up to 3 hours. So they gave us these luggage tags, these bright yellow luggage tags to put our stuff on. One of them says Christopher Rhodes and one of them says Giselle Rhodes. So that was like the last thing I was waiting for to come. These came while we were on the cruise, and I was very excited to finally get them in the mail. So the dates that we're going, we're leaving September 8th, Sunday, September 8th. We are getting on a JetBlue flight around 10 a.m. Our flight was actually pushed back like an hour or so a couple months ago, which is unavoidable and whatever. It's not that big of a deal because we're still going to be landing at 1:15ish. Our check-in time isn't until 3 at the hotel, so that's fine. We'll have enough time to get to the Magical Express, get on, and get to our hotel. And hopefully we'll be able to check in maybe a little bit early. We'll see. And you know, we might have time for a little bit of lunch at the hotel. I was kind of planning on us having lunch because we were originally supposed to get there a little bit earlier than that, but once our flight got delayed a little bit, that's fine. But I was hoping we could get lunch at the resort before we go to the park, because we are going to go to a park that night. We're going to get into our room, probably unpack, get ready, and get ourselves onto one of the Disney buses to go to Hollywood Studios. This is something that we've done the last few times that I've been, at least from what I remember, and it's what we did in 2015. We got there on Sunday. Giselle and I went to Hollywood Studios together that night, and it was really, really nice just to go and have like a nighttime experience there. And then I love starting the morning off. I love having a whole day and starting the morning off in Magic Kingdom. I don't like getting there in the middle of the afternoon and going to Magic Kingdom for some reason. It's just like, I don't want to do that. I want our first full day to be in Magic Kingdom, so our first night is going to be in Hollywood Studios. I don't know if that actually makes sense or not, but that's what we're going with. That's what I want to do. Alright, now to finally talk about our plans for the parks for the week. So we're going to try to get to the park by 4 p.m. We're going to try to get to Hollywood Studios by 4 p.m. Sunday night. We have a dinner reservation at the Sci-Fi Dine-In at 6:25. It's the first time I've ever been there before. I've never been there, and it looks really, really cool. I'm really excited for it. They have burgers, they have really good sounding burgers, and this really cool atmosphere of like sitting at a drive-in in a little car at a car table, and there's an old sci-fi movie playing on a giant screen in front of you, and I'm really excited for that. Now, the way Fast Passes work now is that you get 3 a day that you can book ahead of time. I was able to book them 60 days out, and I did. I booked them the second that I was able to. And at Hollywood Studios, there are tiers of what you're allowed to choose. There's like a higher tier and a lower tier, and almost all of the best rides are in the higher tier, and the lower tier is made up of like a lot of shows and a lot of little things, and you can only choose 1 of the higher tiers and 2 of the lower tiers, and that's it. And then once you get there, you do those 3, and then you can choose whatever you want after that. If there's still Fast Passes available, you can choose a 4th one and a 5th one, a 6th one, like one after the other after you use them. But so I had to choose a higher tier and 2 lower tiers. So I decided to choose Tower of Terror, Indiana Jones, which is a show, which is a really cool show, and Star Tours. Now the show, the Indiana Jones show, I'm not entirely sure if we're going to be able to make it. It starts at 4:45, and so like I said, I would hope to get to the park by 4, so hopefully we'll make it. But if not, that's okay. We can let it pass us by and maybe do something else before we go to Tower of Terror, and then before we go to our dinner reservation. But I had to choose something for our 3rd Fast Pass so we could get another Fast Pass after we do Star Tours after dinner. Now this night, actually, something that we plan on doing that I've never done before, is there is a place called the Disney Character Warehouse, which is an outlet store at an outlet mall in Orlando that's very close to the parks, that has tons of discounted Disney stuff from the Disney parks that they have decided to take out of the park and put for a much cheaper price in the outlet. We went to a place like this in Disneyland in the vlogs that we did when we went to California last year in May, and that place was amazing, and this place looks even better. I've watched vloggers go there before, and it's really cool, and Giselle and I are going to try to go there this night, Sunday night, before we buy anything for the rest of the week. We want to see what the outlet has in it, and so it closes at 11, so we'll probably leave the park around 9:30 and get an Uber over to the outlet, and then get an Uber back to our hotel. And we're only going to go to the outlet once, and so it makes sense to go our first night to see what they have there and see if we want to buy anything there before we end up buying anything in the parks. You know, I'm sure we'll buy lots of stuff in the parks, don't get me wrong, but it'll be good to to maybe get some things in the outlets that we might have thought to get in the parks, but might be way less expensive to get at the Disney Character Warehouse. I also just wanted to mention real quick that it's totally fine if some of these plans change. I'm not super rigid in them. Like something might happen, like things happen, things change. It's totally okay if things don't go super according to plan. You know, we have these plans for a reason and hoping that they go well, but if they don't, that's okay, and we are totally willing to be flexible in the moment if we have to be. Alright, moving on to Magic Kingdom on Monday. Magic Kingdom has extra magic hours in the morning at 7 a.m. We're going to try to get there as soon as we can. The dining hall, the quick service place inside of Port Orleans Riverside doesn't open until 7 a.m. So we're going to try to wake up early, get completely ready, and go get breakfast real quick, and then go to the park as quickly as we can. We won't make it to Rope Drop, we won't make it exactly to the magic hour, but we will get there pretty early. And the reason is because I have to wake up in Disney World my first morning there and get Mickey waffles. Mickey waffles are very important to me. I love them. They're one of my favorite things in the world, and I used to eat them obsessively when we went to Disney World with my family in the past, and I love them, and I'm very nostalgic for them, and I'm going to be having them almost every single morning that we're there. So I gotta get my Mickey waffles before we go, and we are going to have a full day at Magic Kingdom. We have some early morning fast passes. We have a fast pass for Space Mountain, a fast pass for Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, and a fast pass for Splash Mountain, so the mountains. Those are the rides that are the most important to us, and you know, we will hopefully be able to do some rides around these, some other rides in between each of these fast passes, and you know, after we do our last fast pass at Splash Mountain, hopefully we'll be able to go and like get more fast passes throughout the day. And that would be really nice. We're going to be spending a lot of time at Magic Kingdom this whole week, so it's totally fine if we don't hit everything that first day. We're going to be taking it at a nice, slow, relaxed pace. I want to, like I said, get lots of vlog footage, capture the atmosphere of Disney World, capture what we're feeling on the trip, and just enjoy it and not go super crazy, because we're going to have plenty of time throughout the week to see and do everything. That day, Giselle and I have a special Disney Bound thing that we're going to be doing together. We're going to be doing quick service food all day long. We use a bunch of quick service credits, which would be great. We won't have to pay for food all day long. We're going to be able to get snacks with that as well, so we're going to barely pay for food all that day, I'm sure. We're going to go see Happily Ever After, which is the fireworks show at Magic Kingdom right now. That night, Giselle's not super into fireworks, and I understand that because I've never been super that into fireworks either, but this show to me is like way more than just fireworks. You'll see a little bit of it, and I'll try to show a little bit of it when we do the vlog. You can go find it online to watch it. I watch it all the time, and it like makes me teary-eyed. I really want to see it in person, and this will probably be the only night we watch it, but I really want to see it our first night there, because I've watched it a million times on YouTube and I love it, and it fills my heart with happiness. And Giselle's awesome, so she is totally okay with that, even though she's not super into fireworks. I think she'll like the show, and I'm really glad that we'll be able to watch it this first night together. Next day, Tuesday, is at Epcot, and it opens at 9 a.m. so we'll have a nice relaxed morning. We'll be able to get I'll be able to get my Mickey waffles, and I don't know if Giselle's going to eat a full breakfast that morning, because throughout the day we're going to be doing Food and Wine Festival at Epcot. And she plans on eating quite a bit throughout the day, little things that you can get throughout Food and Wine. I plan on doing that as well, but I have to get my Mickey waffles still. And we have a few fast passes. We're going to do Soarin' Around the World, we're going to do Spaceship Earth, and Living with the Land, which I've never done before. Giselle's never done Spaceship Earth either, by the way. So, and this might be our last time to do it. It hasn't been officially announced yet, but people are saying that Spaceship Earth is going to close for a couple years for refurbishments, so I'm really glad we get to see it, and she gets to see it before that happens. Like I said, Food and Wine all day, that's what we're going to be doing for lunch and snacks and stuff, but we do have a dinner reservation at 7 p.m. for Restaurant Marrakesh, which we went to in 2015 as like a little date night together on our Epcot day for that trip. And we really loved it there, and so we're going to be eating there again this time. And we're really looking forward to that because, like I said, we really enjoyed it back in 2015. Epcot actually is open late that night until 11. It has extra magic hours from 9 to 11, so we might stay until 11. We might stay the full entire time. just try to get some of those rides in that we didn't get fast passes for, like Frozen and the Three Caballeros and whatever else was still open, because Epcot is closing a lot of stuff right now and like redoing a lot of stuff and going through a lot of refurbishments right now. So we'll see what we can get on. Maybe we'll watch Illuminations. Giselle's never seen that either, and I haven't seen it in a really long time. And I might want to do that on that first Epcot night. Then the next morning is another extra magic hour day, 7 a.m. at Disney's Animal Kingdom. Once again, we're gonna wake up, get breakfast. We might not try to worry too much about doing extra magic hours this day because we do want to, not go crazy. We don't want to push ourselves. We want to take this trip nice and relaxed, and so we might want to have a nice relaxed morning, get breakfast, and then go to the park whenever we can. We do have a fast pass for Expedition Everest, and then Dinosaur, and then also for Flight of Passage, which is a little bit later in the afternoon. These fast passes go by really quick, despite me trying to get them first thing in the morning. And the day I was able to get fast passes for us. This is a new ride. Neither of us have been on before. The last time we were there in 2015, Pandora was still being built, so we have not even been in there before. So we're excited to see that for the first time. And we do have a dinner reservation also at the Yak and Yeti restaurant, which I, once again, have never been to. Hopefully we'll be able to get some other fast passes after Flight of Passage. I would love to do, like, the Safari, and I would love to do Dinosaur a bunch of times. I would love to do Expedition Everest a bunch of times, so we'll see how that happens. And I would also like to see Festival of the Lion King this day. That's one of the best shows in all of Disney World, and I love seeing it. So I'm not sure. We might make that an early night, because the next day, Thursday, we're going to Hollywood Studios at 6 a.m. We want to see Star Wars Land very early. We're going to wake up probably around 4:30 or 5, eat a really quick breakfast. We might bring something to the room the morning before and like put it in our little mini fridge that we have in the room, in order to wake up early, eat real quick, and then get on the bus to get to Hollywood Studios in order to make it in at 6 a.m. We plan on spending most of our morning that morning in Star Wars Land to see it, and hopefully to ride a Millennium Falcon. There's no fast passes for that yet. I would love to do I would love to walk through everything in that land that we can and see everything I can and take lots of video of it. But we did get some fast passes just in case we don't spend the full, we're only going to spend like half a day there, but we're going to spend as much as we can in Star Wars Land. We're going to see how much we can get done. And I did put Star Tours as a fast pass, and Tower of Terror and Muppet Vision, because I wanted to still choose 3 fast passes, and hopefully we can get these done. If not, then they'll at least go by and they'll count for our 3 fast passes, and then we can make a 4th maybe for Tower of Terror, or we can make a 4th for Rock and Roller Coaster. Whatever we can get. I would love to ride some more Hollywood Studio rides before we leave that day, because I'm not sure if we're going to get back to Hollywood Studios for the rest of the trip, because I'm worried that Hollywood Studios is going to be pretty crowded the entire trip, but we'll see. We're not entirely sure about that. That's where plans can definitely change. I do have a lunch reservation in here at the 50s Primetime Cafe, but that probably won't happen. I think I might cancel that when we get there, because I think we might eat in Star Wars Land for lunch. And yeah, like I said, we're also only plan on being in Hollywood Studios for half a day, going back to the hotel, maybe sleeping and napping for a little while, and then that night we have tickets to the Magic Kingdom After Hours party that is happening until 1 a.m. in Magic Kingdom that night. So we plan on waking up very early and then staying up pretty late that night. So we're going to try to take a nap in the middle of the day. I'm not going to talk too much about the Disney After Hours party. We did get tickets for it. It was just kind of luck that it was happening while we were there, because they only happen a couple times a month, and we jumped on it because they're supposed to be really cool and the park's supposed to be really empty, kind of like the Disneyland After Hours party we went to in May of last year, and we loved that so much. It was great because all the rides were empty, all the lines were empty, and it was so much fun. So we're really hoping that happens with this party as well. Friday, luckily, because Thursday is going to be such a long day, we're going to be able to sleep in, have a very relaxed morning, wake up, eat breakfast, Mickey waffles of course, and leisurely make our way over to Disney Springs. We do have a lunch reservation at Halio, I think that's how it's pronounced, at 205. It's a kind of a fancy Spanish place. It's like a tapas place, and we are gonna do a few other things that day, like walk around Disney Springs. There's a boat ride from Port Orleans Riverside to Disney Springs, so we're probably gonna take that. That's gonna be a day where we mostly wing it. It's mostly a relaxed day for the majority of the day until we can go to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party at night. So that night, like you can see on here, is a ticketed event. That's Mickey's Not So Scary, 7 p.m. to midnight. You can actually get in with your ticket, with your Mickey's Not So Scary ticket at 4 p.m. So we were able to make some fast passes between 4 p.m. and 7 p.m. because they don't let you do fast passes during the Halloween party. So we were actually able to fit in, if we can get there at 4, we'll be able to do Splash Mountain, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, and Space Mountain right in a row. It worked out perfectly until the last fast pass that's available, which is at 6. And then they kick everybody out at 7 that doesn't have a ticket to the Halloween party. Hopefully the Halloween party won't be super crowded and we can go on rides a lot once the party starts, but we do have these 3 fast passes available to us that we'll hopefully be able to do if we can get there at 4 like we want to. Saturday is going to be a second Epcot day. We have some different fast passes for that. We have Frozen Ever After, The Seas with Nemo and Friends, and we have Spaceship Earth again. Hopefully get to ride it one last time before it starts going into refurbishment soon. And I would still love to ride Test Track and Soarin' and all the other rides you can ride in Epcot. But we are probably going to spend most of our Epcot days exploring World Showcase. Both doing food and wine that first day. We might do a little bit of food and wine the second day as well. Although we do have a lunch reservation at Beer Garden, which is in Germany, in the World Showcase. And it's a buffet. It's a German buffet, and I can't wait for that. I think it's going to be awesome. The food sounds great. And then we also have a dinner reservation at 7 for the other restaurant other than Restaurant Marrakesh in Morocco, in the Morocco Pavilion in the World Showcase, called Spice Road Table. And so we're gonna have lots of food that day, maybe throw in a little bit of food and wine, but like I said, most of our days are going to be spent wandering the World Showcase and wandering all the different countries, so we can see all the little details and stuff, because we barely got to do that on our trip in 2015, and I know we both really are looking forward to that aspect of getting to go to Epcot 2 whole days. Then moving on to Sunday. Sunday is another Animal Kingdom day. They also have extra magic hours that day as well, so we can maybe go early that day. We'll see. We do have a fast pass reservation for Dinosaur pretty early, and we got a Flight of Passage pretty early that day, and then an Expedition Everest. So lots of stuff in the morning. I did put another Festival of the Lion King thing in here. This isn't like a reservation or anything. It's just letting you know when the show is. Because just in case we don't get to see it that first Animal Kingdom day. And then yeah, we're probably going to do quick service all day that day. We might do half the day in Hollywood Studios, like after our fast passes are over in Animal Kingdom, we might go to Hollywood Studios so I can do Rock and Roller Coaster and Tower of Terror, 2 of my absolute favorite rides, 2 rides that I used to ride over and over and over again with my family. When we used to go, we used to just spend so much time in Hollywood Studios re-riding Tower of Terror over and over and over again. And I might want to do that that second to last night that we have there. We'll wing it. We're not entirely sure what we're going to do that day, if we're going to spend the entire thing in Animal Kingdom or do half Animal Kingdom and half Hollywood Studios. And our last full day in Disney World will be spent, of course, in Magic Kingdom. That's always like how I want to do things, is spending the first full day and the last full day both in Magic Kingdom, because I love Magic Kingdom, and I want to have my last experience at each trip in Disney World be at Magic Kingdom and leaving Main Street, and I think that's the best way to end a trip. We actually have a reservation that morning. Instead of doing Mickey Waffles that morning, we are going to probably go in for extra magic hours at 7 a.m. To get there early and go to Be Our Guest at 8:35. We have never been to Be Our Guest. This was open last time we were there, but we didn't know you needed a reservation to get in, so we weren't able to get in when we went in 2015. So we're gonna go now, and I've seen lots of vloggers go to Be Our Guest for breakfast, and the breakfast looks really good, and so I'm excited for that. And we have our obligatory Space Mountain, Big Thunder Mountain, and Splash Mountain fast passes that we've gotten at Magic Kingdom this whole week, because those are the 3 rides we care about the most. Since we're spending so much time in Magic Kingdom, you know, that first full Monday, the last full Monday, we're doing the Halloween party, the after hours party. We're spending so much time in Magic Kingdom. I have no doubts that we're gonna be able to do everything and see everything that we want to do in Magic Kingdom throughout the week. So might as well make fast passes for our favorite rides. So then we have a lunch reservation at the Plaza restaurant, which I have been to before in the past, but this might change. We might change our mind about this. I'm not entirely sure. It's possible we'll do a quick service or some other place. But this is the menu on this seemed interesting, and it's kind of a nice atmosphere. And you can sit outside too, I think, if we want to. So we'll see about that. But that's it. I think that's pretty much it. We leave Tuesday. We're gonna wake up in the morning, have Mickey waffles for breakfast, or at least I am. I say that. Giselle's probably not gonna have Mickey waffles all week, but I'm gonna have Mickey waffles all week. We're gonna go back to the airport. We're gonna back on the Magical Express to go back to the airport to get on our flight to come back home. Our flight leaves around noon, and we land back here around 3. I also want to mention that we have Memory Maker as well. We paid for Memory Maker, which means you can get all of your photos that you get taken all throughout the parks, all throughout the week. We can go up to any PhotoPass photographer in the parks. There's tons of them, and get our photo taken like in front of the castle, in front of other things. There's lots of PhotoPass experiences that you can do throughout the parks, and we can do all of them and get all of our photos from those. We can get all of our ride photos. They do ride videos sometimes for like Tower of Terror and the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. Those are the two I can think of that do ride videos. You just like scan your Magic Band at the end of the ride, and it'll automatically get put on there on your account, and you can download it and keep it. And there's lots of other like little perks that come with that, with the Memory Maker thing. So that's pretty cool. I've never had that before, so it'll be nice to go around and get lots of pictures in our Disney bounds and our Disney clothes, and having fun around Disney World. And I'm looking forward to showing you some of that when we get some cool ones. And then, I'm also going to be doing Instagram posts every day. I did this last year when we went to Myrtle Beach. I've done it when we went to the cruise. For that trip, I posted every single day just a group of pictures that we took throughout the day, and wrote a little description of things we did. And I think it's a really fun thing to do at the end of the day, is to look at all the pictures we took and put a little post on Instagram about it. And so that's something we're going to be doing at Disney World as well for all the days that we're there. And we might throw in some of the PhotoPass, Memory Maker, ride photos, whatever, we might throw in some of those for those as well. And you'll see that if you follow me on Instagram. Like I said, plans can change, things can happen to throw things off. That's totally fine. This is the general planning that we've done for this trip. If you have any questions about anything related to Disney World planning, feel free to ask me in the comments. I've done a lot of research. I've done a lot of looking into things and making sure we got the best experience we could through the entire week for everything. So I'm really happy, like I said, with how planning this trip has gone so far. I've taken care of everything. Everything is completely taken care of at this point, and all we have to do now is just leave and experience the trip itself. The vlogs will hopefully come out quickly. I'm gonna probably, when we get back from Disney World, I'm gonna start editing them hopefully right away. Something that I've never done before, which you'll have seen on the title of this video. I'm going to put on every single Disney World video that we release for this trip, I'm going to put Walt Disney World September 2019 on it. So it's like, I've never done that before for vlogs that go together. I thought about doing it for the cruise. I decided against it, but for Disney World, I really want these vlogs to all exist as one unit, including this one. So that's something that I plan on doing that you haven't really seen before on our videos before, is having a little something in parentheses saying this is the trip, and I might put the days, what day it is as well in the parentheses. We'll see. I just kind of want to show that each video is a part of a series, so anybody that might come from outside of the channel, that I know I do that. I look for Disney vloggers all the time, and I like seeing that it's part of a series, so I would want to show to other people that each one of these vlogs for Disney World is a part of a larger series that they can watch. So hopefully that makes sense. I want to perfectly capture this trip. I just want to be able to keep watching these forever for myself, and hopefully I can make some pretty good videos for you to enjoy. I really love the Disneyland videos that we made last year, and that's kind of what I'm going to be going for this time. Maybe not exactly the same, but pretty similar, and might use a little bit less music than I used in the Disneyland vlogs. I'm not entirely sure. I just know that when I'm editing them, I want to have tons of footage, tons to work with to make the most perfect Disney vlogs for me. the ones that I would want to watch myself, the ones that I kind of enjoy watching the most. But hopefully along with that, you will also enjoy them, because I am making these for you guys, but I also am making them for us to enjoy later on down the road as well. So all that being said, I hope you'll look forward to the videos. I hope you enjoy them when they do come out, and I hope we enjoy the trip. I'm sure we will. I'm very, very excited. I'm probably driving Giselle crazy with how excited I am. I don't know when we're going to be back. I don't know when we're going to go back to Disney World. We're going to go back to Disneyland next year, I believe, probably around Christmas time, because we're going to be spending Christmas with Giselle's family in California next year. So we might be able to go to Disneyland also, but going back to Disney World, I'm not entirely sure. I would love to go in 2021, because that's the 50th anniversary, but I'm not entirely sure if that's going to happen or not, so we'll see. So I really want this trip to be as full and amazing as it possibly can be. I'm so excited for it, and I don't know when we're going to go back, so I want us to make the absolute most of it that we can. So that's it. I think that's everything. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Hopefully it was interesting. If it wasn't, that's totally fine. I'm sure there's plenty of people that didn't make it this far, because I know it was pretty long. It's taken me quite a long time to film this. I'm sure it's going to take me quite a while to edit it, but I'm really excited to release it and show it to you, and hopefully you'll keep an eye out for the actual trip vlogs themselves. We'll do like a pre-travel day vlog kind of, I'm sure. We'll do like a us packing kind of vlog. We'll vlog us getting ready for the trip, and we'll obviously vlog us leaving, and so you'll see that too. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you very soon with more.